Hi guys, it's Misty here. Welcome to another card video on my YouTube channel. So this is part 2 of my previous video. I did a part 1 of me just doing the background of this card. It's just a rainbow distressed background. And then this part 2 is showing you how I colored the critters. It was too long to do in a one video. So, alright, so I'm coloring this here. I don't know if it's a crocodile or an alligator. You can't really tell because it's kind of cartoony, but I'm coloring it with YG95, YG97, and YG99. And I did learn, I was trying to figure out if this was an alligator or a crocodile. So I learned that alligators have a U-shaped snout and crocodiles have more of a V-shaped snout. In case you were wondering. See, you learn something on these videos. Oh, and then the little spikes on their back are called scoots. Scoots? Yeah, I think that's how you say it, scoots. Welcome to Misty's educational video. Alright, so anyway, I usually color with my lightest color, then darkest, then medium, then back to lightest. So that's what I'm going to do. On all these critters, I pretty much, usually when I get back to my lightest color, I just do it enough to kind of blend it up into that first layer I did. But on all these guys, I did the whole image over again with the lightest color, which it kind of washes out all the, the shading you're trying to do. So I'm not quite sure why I did this, but then I ended up having to go back over most of them and add some more dark colors in. But what I did for this guy is instead of going back in and adding a dark layer again, I did some dotting. I can't remember what it's called, but I just did a bunch of little dots to give it some darker color. Pointillism. Pointillism? I think that's what it's called. Something about points. All right, so for the elephant here, I did C1, C2, C3, and C4. So again, with this guy, I did the lightest color, and then I'm going in with my darkest, just to give it, I do my darkest very minimal. I mean, I just don't, I still have a couple more colors to, bring it out into the biggest area here. So I don't want to do too much dark. So in the C3, I do quite a bit more. So I'm just trying to figure out where I think the shading should be. I mean, I try to do, which direction the sun's going to come from and kind of shade on one side like that, but I'm still not very good at that. So I just shade wherever I think looks best. So this is a C3, so you can see that I'm going to carry that out a little bit further than I did the C4. And then I still have C2 to add to it. So once, I mean, with that many colors, that's why I like to do the C4 the least, because, like I said, I still have several colors to blend out till I get to the lightest. So this is my C2, and you'll see again with this one, like I did the reptile, I go over the whole thing again with the C1, which I kind of wish I wouldn't have done, but he was seeming a little too light to me at this point. So at first I start off with just blending that last color into the lightest, but you'll see here, then I'm going to go over the whole thing again with the C1. I mean, some people that's just how they color, but to me it just seems like it covers up too much of, all the shading I just tried to do. It's another case of I wish I would have just stepped away for a couple minutes and then came back and looked at it. But that's okay. So after looking at it and seeing, that all that shading kind of blended in more than I wanted it to, I decided to do the pointillism again on this guy. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do it with just one color, but I I went ahead and did it with all 4 colors. I think it makes it look like he has a couple freckles on his nose there, which I think is cute. So I did some dots with the C4, and I'm doing it with the C3. And maybe you're not supposed to do it all at the same spot. I don't know, but I was on a roll, so. Again, I could have stopped there. I mean, I think it looks good there too, but nope. I go on with C2 and C1. Overall, I mean, I'm happy with the results, I think. I think it turned out all right. I think we're always the most critical of our own work. I don't know why that is. So that's the final product. I don't think it's too bad. Now I'm only going to show me coloring one of the turtles since I did them exactly the same, and this video is long enough, so I didn't need to add more time to it. So you'll see I'll add the colors up in the top right here for the turtle. But I'm going to start out with G21 for my lightest color. A funny story, so when I was doing this video and edited the first part of it, I just assumed I had recorded myself coloring these little creatures, and turns out I either didn't record it or I couldn't find the footage of me coloring these little guys. So I just, recolored them last night, which is perfect because there's this, it's called the 30-Day Color Challenge. It's done by Kathy Rakusin with the Daily Marker, and it's just perfect timing because I colored them last night and that was my day 1 of the color challenge. So she does this really awesome program. She does it every few months, but it's really simple. It's just coloring every day for 30 days. And you don't have to do it every day, just whenever you can, but it started July 5th and it goes through August 3rd. And it's just meant to be fun. Even just coloring for 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, it's supposedly they've done studies on it, and it actually lowers your blood pressure. So I thought that was kind of cool. This is the 5th challenge she's done. So, yep, even just 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day coloring can lower your blood pressure. And it's just so relaxing. It's so fun to color. I absolutely love coloring. Don't do it enough, but that's what is so great about these 30-day challenges is it kind of pushes you to color a little bit more often. As soon as I get done with this video, I'm gonna go color something for today, for my day 2. If you want to participate in this little fun challenge, all you do is you color something, and if you have a smartphone, or if you already have Instagram, if you don't, just download the free Instagram app, and then when you post your picture, you just hashtag it with hashtag the Daily Marker 30-day, and then I mean, it's amazing how many people will take part in this. I posted these guys, and just so many people are in this little coloring community, and it's great to see everybody's positive feedback. So it's a lot of fun. I encourage you to join in if you can. And you don't have to have any special skills or mediums. You can do it with colored pencils. You can do it with markers from the dollar store. You can do it with watercolors, any type of coloring medium, you know, feel free to use. And it's a no pressure thing. If you can't do it one day, then skip that day and, you know, try again the next day. It's just a lot of fun. So anyway, G24 and G46 are my next two colors. And I did the same thing with this little guy as I did the other two. He just kind of seemed too light for me. So after I did my lightest, darkest, medium, and then usually I just kind of blend out the lightest again. But instead for all these guys, I covered the whole thing in the lightest color again. And each time then it just feels like my shading gets a little washed out. So I add back in some shading. And that's a great thing with these Copic markers is the more times you go over it, the darker it'll get. You know, it doesn't just end up eating away through your paper. It actually, you actually see, you know, the colors changing. And this was really fun. I loved doing this on this little guy. I just took the zero marker, the colorless blender, and I added some dots on him. It gives it a really cool look. And I can't really tell, they're not really showing up. I found out my colorless blender was pretty dry. So after I try to do these dots for a good 10 minutes and they weren't really showing up, I decided to refill my marker. Which I'll spare you guys. I didn't add that in here. But this is how he turned out with the little dots on him. I thought he turned out very cute. Cute little critter. I love turtles. So I did the little one exactly the same. So we'll just skip that guy. And love this little bird. This is my favorite little guy out of these characters. I did him with R22, R24, and R29. I really like that R22. It's just a really nice, you know, light pink color. And then for his beak, I did Y15, Y17, and YR04. Probably could have left one of those colors out, but I keep track of when I made the card, I always add a picture of it in my Evernote app, and then I list what colors I used. If you guys don't use Evernote, it's an awesome app. I have a horrible memory, so it's really nice to be able to go back through and, you know, on previous cards I made and see which colors I used. I love this little guy's eyes and his skinny little legs. So I started out, I wanted to give the eyes a little bit of color. So I started out with a BG10 and it was just a little too light for me. I went over it a couple times and for the bird it turned out alright, but for all the other little characters I did BG11 instead, just gave it a little bit more color. That marker, my BG10 might be kind of dry too, so it's about that time for my markers to start running out. So I noticed I didn't do the elephant's eyelids, so I just hurried up and did that with a C1. And so for the bird, or for the mouse, I just did C00 and C1. It was really simple to color. And as I finish up my little mouse, that will wrap up my card for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click on the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, click on the subscribe button. Alright, directly below this video, you will find 2 additional videos. The one on the left is part 1 of this card that I just made, showing how I made the background. And the video on the right is just another card I did using a Stampin' Bella image of these 2 adorable girlfriends. So I hope you'll check them out. Thanks!